Hello, my name is Omar Rampersad. It's January 9th, Wednesday, 2019 at 4:57 p.m. in Toronto. So I tweeted a lot today, and just to confirm, those were mine. ROSHINI 911. Those are my tweets. So I'm going to demonstrate the tagging of my hands. My hands are burning. And I tweeted today about being harassed with a radiation-based technology. So this is a microwave detector, and it doesn't give you specific readings, and something's going on with my camera as usual. And my hands are tagged. And the screen is frozen. So it's not oh, there we go. So there's a demonstration of my hands being tagged, both hands. And both hands are burning. And it burns when the alarm doesn't go off because it's been tagged for so long. It burns afterwards. It doesn't disappear as soon as the alarm goes away. And this causes inflammation. So I do have swellings in my arm, the fingers, some of the joints. If I went to the doctor is going to tell me I have arthritis on the joints or fibromyalgia. This is not true. This is exactly what's causing it. How do I know? Well, when I shield my hand under microwave shielding, anything metallic, as a very, very excuse me, as a very, very simple example, if you were to put a pup scrubber made out of either copper or aluminum or steel works well. It'll cost you $2 to do your own test, $35 for a microwave detector, and shield your hand. You'll see that number one, the signals go away, and number two, the burning sensation goes away, and that arthritis will go away as well. So that's a very, very simple test, which works for me. The ear, the temple, the other ear. I'm having earaches right now, sore right around this area. Sore neck. It feels like tension, soreness, but the tension is not what's causing it. It's the microwaves are causing it. So this is an auto off. And notice I'm starting to cough, and my nose is also starting to run. Because these signals, they trigger your autoimmune system. So you start to sneeze, you start to cough, your eyes get red, runny, your sinuses starts acting up. So your nose it starts running. So throat, jaw, head, it's not going off there. Notice sometimes it goes off and sometimes it doesn't. That's because it's intermittent, it's pulsed. So the temple, around the eyes, the temple is a very popular spot with the perpetrators who are programming this harassment. So all day, my feet were hurting in sudden pulses of pain, burning pulses of pain. And as soon as I placed this in the spots that was hurting and burning, it went off just like the ear just did. There you go. I just got a pulse of pain in the ear and it went off. Another pulse. So if these spots are tagged, especially the ear, you get really, really, really intense earaches. And if it goes on for days, you get ear inflammation. there's a buildup of fluid and you lose your hearing for the days that there's a buildup of fluid behind the eardrums. And I had that happen recently, a few months ago. I think it was November. I had a court hearing with somebody in this building. And a few days before, I started getting intense earaches. And I got inflammation build up in the ear and fluid build up behind the eardrums. And I couldn't hear with that ear. So interestingly, I had to attend a court hearing or the mediation meeting with just hearing with one ear. So harassment, and this is causing what the perpetrators are going to call mood changes. Actually, what it is, it's intensifying your emotions. So depending on the frequency being used, it can either cause you to feel pain, it can cause you, or sadness, or both. It could actually cause you to get depressed. There are certain frequencies that could be used that when I get a detector that gives you the accurate reading, and I am getting one, it's a few $100s when I start working. It will actually give you the frequency that will cause pain, that will cause a fever, that will cause inflammation, that will cause depression, and so on. It can cause a number of different effects on the body and on the emotions. So let's talk about how criminals like traffickers will use the technology to reach their goals, which is, and I'm hiccuping, and there's a burning sensation on my chest, and there it goes, the obliques. The back of my rib cage, the kidney area, the hip, between the legs, the hip area, chest, and that's why I'm hiccuping right now, throat, coughing. So, the reason I know these frequencies are causing my symptoms is when the detector stops alarming, and I stop and I shield myself, all my symptoms disappear. They completely disappear. This is how I know that there's a direct relationship between this and these alarms and the readings of microwaves and my symptoms. Now, I had a police officer come to my home and saw me sleeping under a mylar blanket, which shields to a certain point these microwaves. They deflect them. The metallized surface of the mylar blanket, it's metallic, the surface, so it deflects the microwaves. He told me I was delusional, exhibiting signs of delusions of grandeur and paranoia. When I have tests that I've carried out that not only that shows that the shielding not only make my symptoms disappear, but it also decreases my heart rate. It stabilizes my heart rate. So when I told the officer, as the video that I recorded would show, I told the officer that I feel better when I slept under the mylar blanket. He told me I was delusional. As to why a police officer would come to your home and tell you that you're delusional when you're trying to find ways of making yourself better, feel better, is beyond me. That's beyond harassment. That's a criminal act. telling you that you're mentally ill when really what you're trying to do is make yourself feel better. So it's just it was just a start, and I didn't know back then what would happen. Eventually, they would actually try to kill me in their custody. So there is a reason why all of this really bad reaction, these bad experiences are happening with the police. I'm suspecting that some of them are being paid off by the traffickers and are taking part in the trafficking, and they're trying to shut me up. I think that's the reason.